Mrs. Bastelli will be absent this evening, and I certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law. The first item is the Citizen Police Academy Police Week, but Reverend Gonzalez isn't here yet, so Kevin will go to, or Mr. Aaron, discussion portion of Spruce Street vacation.
Yeah, I prepared the ordinance for introduction. As you can see, it has 5 exhibits to it. The entire purpose of this is to remember that this Spruce Street is a paper street. It doesn't exist as far as a thoroughfare is concerned. And the people on the corner, the Pool and Bush, want to build a home on a lot. They can do it without variances if they get this vacation. The adjoining property owner has submitted a consent in writing. They've complied with all of the requirements of the ordinance. And in fact, when DPW took a look at this, they said that there was a necessity for a public utility easement. The form of the public utility easement is part of the ordinance, and without them, meaning the applicants, applying for and having filed the public utility easement, that's a precondition to granting any of the vacation. It will not disturb traffic. It will not interfere with anything in the area. And I'm here certainly to answer any questions if anyone has
Kevin,
any.
can you show us exactly where it is, please?
It's right here. This is the Atlantic Avenue recycling facility. So Spruce Street runs here, and the paper street runs right through here. So all this does is give this person the ability to construct a home. He can't do it as long as he butts up against a right-of-way. So he doesn't have the proper setbacks for that size lot. You eliminate the right-of-way, and now he has a conforming lot like everybody else, and they can build a home. It's pretty simple.
Thank you.
And how big is this right-of-way that we're vacating?
I think it's a 50-foot right-of-way. The map is in there.
Half.
25 to each person, and then we have an easement for their 25, which is what our concern was, not having to move our fence or we have a berm over there. So they're all good with it.
So he gets 25 feet of that?
He technically gets 25 feet, but he really can't use it because our berm is there. But he grants us an easement for the berm. So it's really all on paper.
They're not building on it whatsoever, so their house is not going to be on the right-of-way.
But it allows them to build without a variance.
Yes.
I'm good with it.
What is it, 25 by what?
Well, it runs the
depth of their property, where their property is.
about 150 feet.
How far does that paper Spruce Street go?
All the way to Eldora.
So we still have the rest of Spruce?
The rest of the paper.
The rest of the paper?
The other part of Spruce Street runs down by Joyce Church.
And it becomes taxable? Since it's
Couldn't answer
his.
that.
It does.
It does.
It does. There'd be some acknowledgement of the berm portion of it, but it does go on the tax rolls.
Okay.
Okay, Kathy, you want to go back to number 1 on the agenda?
Absolutely. Reverend Gonzalez,
You good, Jeff?
you can have a seat up here.
Yeah, I'm good. My only question is, do you think we should wait for the other council members since there's only 3 of us here?
Well, they would be back, I'm assuming
just
this is for introduction, so you're going to have a public hearing in a couple of weeks. And if you want at that point in time, we can always adjourn the public hearing further if you need. This just starts it.
They're both Joy and Mary Jane are aware of it and consented to going on the agenda. We briefed them. They both attended the agenda meeting, so they're both fully aware of it. And both of them were putting it on, so I don't think there's too much of anything.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Reverend Sandra Gonzalez. I am a part of the Long Branch Citizen Police Academy alumni that we started about 1.5 years ago. And the reason why I'm here, I was told to come and to present to you a proposal for a police week for Long Branch. Our police week will start on May the 30th, and it runs till June the 4th. We have at least 6 activities going on to basically to appreciate our police officers and to bring unity in the community.
Could you just go down each of them briefly?
Okay. Well, let me just read what I have. I know I only have a few minutes, but it basically, my proposal said who we are. We are the Long Branch Citizen Police Academy, alumni of Long Branch, known as the LBCPAA, exit to assist the Long Branch Police Department, thereafter known as the LBPD, in its overall mission. We come together to foster an understanding between the different communities through collaboration. We agree that the Police Week would benefit from uniting the city by establishing a Police Week. 4th week in the month of May for every year will be called our town citizen to action in support of law enforcement. These citizens who appreciate law enforcement are discouraged about the negative attention being given to law enforcement are encouraged to take time out on the 4th week of May to show their appreciation. And we just basically go down talking about the different community leaders that is involved with us. We are asking the citizen of Long Branch, New Jersey, to validate our proposal to release a resolution for Police Week, bringing the citizens and the law enforcement together. With the police department, Long Branch Citizen Police Academy, and the LBCPA alumni steering this effort, the outcome will be great, and the city will be known as a city of unity. So starting on May the 30th, which is Tuesday at 6 p.m., we will have a community law enforcement forum at the Long Branch Library at 6 p.m. And then on Wednesday, we will have a senior luncheon where we'll have the police department will give lunch to the inbound seniors. Then on Thursday, we will have a community garden where we have the police officers will come and assist and help out in the garden, in the community garden right here on 7th Avenue. And then that evening, we will have the children of the police officers will come and will speak to our community about having parents as police officers. And that will take place from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Long Branch Concordians Family Success Center. And then on Friday, June the 2nd, we will have a basketball game, the youth versus the police officers. And that will be held at the Long Branch Middle School. And we will have like a pizza party afterwards. And then on Saturday, June the 3rd, we will have a dog walk. It's a fundraiser because we are raising funds to able to give our new canine dog a bulletproof vest. And so the alumni would like to bless them with that. And then we will end our week with a blue mass, which will be held at St. James Church right here at 300 Broadway, where we inviting all of the police officers, firefighters, and first responders, mayors, and everyone will be coming in on that day. And this is what we consider and we are calling a police week to honor and to celebrate them for the hard work that they do.
And the only change, I think, is this Saturday, we're going to host that, not in Oceanport. We're
Yes.
going to do it down at the Hoey Avenue Green Acres property. On Hoey Avenue, we have a Green Acres passive recreation area. We're going to do it there.
Which one is that, Kevin? I'm sorry.
Hoey Avenue. by the
No,
way.
what event is
The
that?
Saturday
The
event.
dog
The
walk.
dog walk.
Oh, the dog.
It says in the flyer Oceanport, but it's going to actually be, we ran into some, I think, some insurance issues or something there. We
Yes.
had to adjust, so.
That's great. It'll be very good for the community.
Yes.
Thank you. Very nice.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Kathy, before we go on, can I just back up 1 minute? So, Jim, on the Spruce Street, so in other words, this was on for discussion, but not scheduled for introduction. Is that correct?
Correct.
I'm sorry, is that correct, Kathy?
Yes.
So
You don't have to move it. You can carry it.
I think in fairness to the other two, they are not aware then that we're
No,
going to be
it-
introducing this tonight.
It's
right?
not being introduced.
It's not on for introduction.
I'm sorry,
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
misspoke, I misspoke.
It's not
I'm
on.
sorry.
Oh,
It was
okay.
on for discussion, and then
I thought you did say it.
I did say it. I made a
Okay, great,
mistake.
Great, 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 great. All right.
I'm the one that's sorry.
Seeing it.
I'm the one that's sorry.
All right, then you have discussion regarding Ocean Avenue. Mr. Aaron?
Yeah, this is the one that we need to, I think, have some pressure to get on for introduction. This goes back to 1985, when the city developed its first redevelopment project, that being the Hilton Hotel. And there was a recreation Green Acres property swap where parts of Old Ocean Avenue were deemed to be placed on the Rossi, and removal from vehicular traffic on those parcels, subject to the right of the city to have emergency vehicles, first aid squad, fire equipment, police equipment on the streets. In the north part of the town, between Ocean Terrace and Madison, that's all been taken care of by various deeds of vacation. It's all been filed. Lo and behold, 30 years later, the DEP, although the southerly portion of the property was placed on the Rossi and actually used for the passive park, we could never find the documentation that would support it being on the Rossi. Now, that becomes important now because the city has, post-Sandy, spent considerable amount of money in that area fixing it up to the tune of approximately $19 million. Significant portion of dollars are coming back to the municipality from Green Acres. And Green Acres said, wait a minute, hold on, we need proof from the city that the property that is covered by the ordinance that is prepared for tonight is approved by the council. We have documentation that it is there and on the Rossi, that it is so dedicated and that it is properly described and done by formal ordinance. It's not vacation in terms of giving up ownership. It's vacation of use as a right-of-way, subject to the use by your emergency vehicles. And that's what we prepared, and it is nunc pro tunc, which means it dates back to the original date of March of 1986, when the actual act of dedicating it on the Rossi took place. Now, it's on the state records at the DEP that it exists as part of the Rossi. Whenever there has been a site view, the DEP has seen that it's on the Rossi. It's just that we could never find, the clerk did a search, we couldn't pick it up on a search on the lot and block, so we had to do this as a way to show the DEP that this is really on the Rossi.
And the only thing that we're adding to it is, like I told you last meeting, is the 4 street ends. We're carving them out and putting them into the public portion of the park so that we can receive funding for it from Green Acres. And you have it, it's all in the letter I gave you. It's pretty clear.
Who's walking behind us?
So Jim, simplified, we are memorializing what's already in place.
100%. No changes, no additions.
Well, just the
no
additions of the
corrections.
street ends.
Well, the
Yes.
street ends, but they're
Yeah,
part of
that's
the
it.
description.
That's it.
And this will, when this gets passed, they will start to process the city's requests for the reimbursement of the Green Acres money.
And you can see by the letter what I'm trying to catch up with. There's 24 items that they're asking for. We're trying to go through them methodically, and this is one that's really got us hung up, and she says that they're going to hold up funding unless we do it, so.
Good?
We're getting our ducks in line.
Yep.
Thank you.
And there was nobody in City Hall that we could go to that would have done
In
this.
1980.
And the city attorney at that time was Gina Idanza, who has already been through a judgeship and said, well, whatever there is in City Hall and the clerk.
Well, Kathy luckily found the one from the north end, from
Yeah.
Madison to Ocean Terrace. She found that document, believe it or not, and we just supplied it to them.
Yeah. So,
That was good. Well, she's awesome.
Review?
I have nothing.
Nothing.
John?
Okay.
All right, then I need a motion to close.
So move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to adopt a resolution to go into executive session for the following items. Number 1, contract negotiations is being removed, and personnel matter, non-union employees.